one of my best friends, yeah.
And you wanted to move to New York?
I do. I want her to be close to me.
Every post-breakup and release in this saga had a job. Today, we track the Taylor-Selena-Justin timeline to see who ran it and the exact moments control moved. Welcome back to Drop The Glam, the channel where we look beyond the headlines and decode the psychology of fame, influence, and power.
My girl T Swizzy Taylor's swole.
Think this timeline is about who dated whom. It isn't. It's about who learned to control the script. The release dates, the headlines, the parts we're allowed to see, and the parts we're trained to argue about. In every chapter with Taylor, Selena, and Justin, someone is steering the frame. Once you notice the hand on the wheel, the drama stops looking random and starts looking like strategy. Timing is leverage, ambiguity as oxygen, silence as a statement. Watch closely. The triangle is just the decoy. The real plot is about who gets to define you when millions are watching. Before we map the beats, remember this. The biggest flex in pop culture isn't a number one. It's narrative custody. And who keeps it when the comments are trying to take it away. Here's the first power move. Two young artists meet in the chaos of early fame and make an unusually adult decision. Protect the friendship first. When the noise gets loud, keep one person who will tell you the truth, not the story you want. Years later, Selena would call Taylor her only real industry friend. That isn't shade. That's a boundary. Boundaries are boring to the internet. Headlines want cliffhangers, not stillness. But stillness is how you hear yourself. And when you can hear yourself, you stop playing the role people expect. Their alliance built a quiet room inside a loud career, a place where the brand can't overrule the human. This is where control begins. Not with a takedown, not with a diss, not with a leak. It begins with, I choose the person who will pull me out when the room is lying to me. That choice looks small at the start. Later, it explains everything, a pattern that trained millions to refresh their feeds. Was it love? Of course. Was it also rhythm? Absolutely. Breakups landing next to rollouts. Redemptions landing next to rebrands. The internet thinks in plotlines. And a relationship that stops and starts on a schedule becomes a franchise. Fans weren't just watching two people figure it out. They were watching publicity physics. Two names that spike higher together than apart. The loop kept feeding itself and until it didn't. Because loops create dependency, and dependency isn't control. If your piece depends on the next notification owns you. Then came the sprint, final split, fast engagement, swift marriage. The triangle didn't end. It reloaded with a new face and a new promise. Stability, wholesomeness, the opposite of what came before. That wasn't only romance. It was the industry pressing new season. When a storyline runs out of road, the machine paves a new one, quickly, but not everyone clapped. One friend refused to pretend the cycle was healthy. Backstage at an award show, a tiny gesture became a thesis statement. The visible nope at a kiss the internet wanted to celebrate. Was it petty? Maybe. Or maybe it was the only authentic reaction in a room optimized for politeness. Real friends don't cheer for cycles that break you. They roll their eyes. They tug your sleeve. They say the quiet part out loud. You look smaller when you're with him. People called it drama. But honesty looks like drama when the room is addicted to diplomacy. Taylor didn't lobby a war. She issued a boundary. I won't treat a painful loop like a fairy tale. Boundaries don't trend. They age well, and here's the hidden cost of honesty. You become an anchor. When the person you love is spun by public weather, you're the heavy thing they tie the boat to. Anchors don't move much. Anchors get scratched. But anchors keep ships from breaking. Art changes the argument because it doesn't ask for agreement. It makes a case. A song can do what a paragraph never could. Fold the whole 8-year hallway into 3 minutes and 26 seconds, and let the listener feel the fatigue. Lose You to Love Me wasn't a clapback. It was documentation. The key line wasn't even lyrical. It was structural. I Had to Lose You to Love Me is a thesis about authorship, and it worked. Chart position matters for business. But the real win was psychological. Audiences stopped discussing a couple and started witnessing a boundary. The ex wasn't the main character anymore. The narrator was. When a frame shifts from will they to I did, the comments lose oxygen. Even the reaction around the song told you the truth. When people who've watched you up close cry at a first listen, they aren't crying because it's catchy. They're crying because the code flipped. The room that used to define you just got evicted from the story. Not every wedding is a climax. Sometimes it's a release valve. Selena's relationship with Benny wasn't built to prove a point to the internet. It was built to make the internet irrelevant. That's a different energy. Less public teasing, fewer PR stunts, more, this is ours. A relationship like that doesn't erase the past. It reframes it. The old loop stops being a ghost that haunts your new rooms and becomes a history book on a closed shelf. The ring isn't just romance. It's a lock. It keeps the old storyline out, and look at the temperature of the coverage. Less hysteria, more peace. Less will they, won't they? More they did. That's what authorship looks like in real life. It's not loud. It's consistent. You stop auditioning for closure because you already have it. Notice who cheered the loudest. The friend who refused to celebrate the loop celebrated the lock. That's how you know a boundary was love, not control. She never needed a villain. She wanted a door that shut. Taylor's rollouts are case studies. You can love the music or not. The strategy is undeniable. Announce without over-explaining. Seed symbols without confirming. Choose a date that doubles the discourse. Time things next to cultural memes so even the bystanders have context. Then let speculation market the product for free. This is the trick most people miss. Ambiguity isn't messy. It's deliberate. If 10 interpretations are possible, you get 10 days of trend cycles while saying nothing. Silence becomes fuel. The debate creates reach. And the numbers cash the check. Even the friend rumors underline the point. Headlines ask, is it shade? Is it a nod? Is it a reveal? The operator says nothing. Friends post support. The press argues with itself. And then week 1 records arrive, proving the only answer that matters in music. Did listeners show up? Control isn't micromanaging every take. It's choosing which questions you'll never answer publicly, and training the world to accept that boundary because the work is undeniable. Justin grew up under a microscope that would have broken most adults. He made mistakes publicly. He tried reinventions publicly. He married publicly. He became a father publicly. None of that is normal. And the internet still asks him to serve leftovers from a story the other two have already retired. Here's the most generous read, and the smartest path forward. The strongest move now isn't to revive a plot that trained everyone to refresh. It's to build a life that doesn't need an echo to feel significant. That's not weakness. That's strength. You can love your past without feeding it. If the old triangle sold chaos as romance, the current chapter sells something rarer. Adults choosing boredom over spectacle. Boredom is underrated. It's what peace looks like to an algorithm that only recognizes extremes. You don't have to be the cliffhanger to be compelling. You can be the constant, so who holds the pen? Selena, clearly, in the way she built a career that doesn't depend on reliving pain. Taylor, obviously, in the way her releases bend the conversation without hostage notes. And Justin, if he wants it, by refusing to be the callback. The triangle isn't 3 sides anymore. It's 3 separate books. When you zoom out, the secrets of control aren't secret. They're simple and hard. Pick one truth teller and keep them. Stop mistaking timing for love. Put the pattern into art. Choose the life that doesn't audition for closure. Let ambiguity market your work while you do the work. What did you notice in this timeline that most people miss? Drop the one moment, a lyric, a look, a release date, a silence, where you realized who was writing the story. I'm reading the comments to see which detail you think gave the control away.